Hi everyone, so as I'm sure most of you in the Lush community know, this coming Saturday and Sunday is the Lush Creative Showcase 2018, and this is a video, I know it's a bit late, but I've been meaning to make this since the last showcase, and it's basically a couple of tips that I wish I'd have known when I went to last year's one, so it's just things to kind of help anyone that is going, because it is very overwhelming. When I first went to the showcase last year, I didn't really know where to go, what I was doing, and all of that. I will link below my Lush haul as well from the showcase last year. I don't believe I actually bought any product, but I managed to get so many things for free, so I just kind of wanted to do some hints, not just necessarily on getting the free stuff, but just things that I think will be helpful for this showcase overall. So one thing that I really like that the showcase is doing this year is they actually have a schedule on the Lush website, which I'll link below, and it also has a map of the venue, because when I went last year I didn't have a clue where I was going. I didn't know what was going on. It was my first showcase. So you have all of the workshops, and then obviously you have the discussion areas, the places where you build the products, and they now have a floor map on their website, which I think is really handy. So I would recommend having their website open and downloading the map. I did try and save a copy to my phone and it wouldn't let me, so I'd recommend just trying to take like a screen print, and I think that will be so helpful, especially because I bought the Creative Showcase wristbands, the tickets that came on sale in about May, I believe, and you have to go to a different entrance, so it's going to be handy for that. But one thing that I absolutely love that they've done this year, and I don't believe they did it last year, but correct me if I'm wrong, they actually have a schedule printed out of everything that's going on. And if, like me, I'm going to be totally honest, the main reason I'm going to this showcase is one, to see all of the Halloween and Christmas product, also just to make all of the products, and also to meet everyone in the Lush community, which I'm really looking forward to. But the main thing that I'm kind of really excited for is making all of the products. I just think it was so much fun last year, and obviously if, like me, you want absolutely everything from the range, it gets very expensive. So to be able to make it yourself, even if it doesn't look as good as if you'd have bought it in the store, it's so much nicer to be able to make it yourself and just have it for free. So one thing that I really recommend, what I did last year, as soon as I kind of realised where all of the stands for making all of the products are, I actually went round and I just took a picture of all of the timetables and kept them on my phone, and then I could pick from there what product I wanted to make at what time and where that was, and then plan from there. And that was so helpful. And I'll get into what stands I think you should go to first in a bit, because a lot of the products were clashing. So if you wanted to make a certain soap and a certain bath bomb, they would both be at say 10 o'clock, so you kind of had to go to one or the other. But I did have a way around that. One thing that I do love is this year, again, I don't know if they did it last year, they actually have the timetable online for the full event, and also when they are making what products. And you can also, what's even better, I'll insert something that shows you on my phone what it looks like, is you can add certain bits to your diary so you know what time each product is going to be, and that is so helpful. So I've already planned ahead where I'm going to be at what time. If there are say 2 products you want to make and they really clash, you can still technically get to both. I think all of the product making windows have about an hour to an hour and a half time frame overall. I think it depends on the product. What I found last year, and obviously this could change on the day, was the soaps and the face masks took the longest to make, so you could technically go to them at the end of the session and still be able to make a face mask or a soap and get a sample. Things I found, like the bath bombs and the bubble bars, they run out of mixture really quick, so I would say try and get to those ones first. With the bath bomb and the bubble bars, it was more they had all of the products out and you just kind of had to queue up and then make your own and then you left. Whereas with the jelly masks and the soaps, you watch them through the whole process they made it, which obviously took some time because they were making big batches as opposed to one product at a time. You watch them make the whole thing all the way through, and then at the end, after like 45 minutes to an hour, you got the product. So I'd recommend going to the bath bomb and the bubble bars first, or anything that you have to queue up and make the product yourself. Anything where you are watching them make the products, go to that later, and you can probably get 2 in one point. I also found towards the very end of the showcase, all of the kind of like unclaimed or imperfect products they were just giving out. The last half an hour of the showcase, I think that's when I got the most free stuff. And I don't know if this was I was in the right place at the right time. I don't know if they were meant to. More or less, as I was walking out of the door, one of the staff just was clearing all of the displays, and I literally got like 5 bottled shower gels from that, as well as loads of other stuff. So I really recommend hanging around as much as you can at the end. But again, I think that was just, I was in the right place at the right time. I don't even know if they were meant to be giving those away. I just think they didn't want to pack them up. What else is there? This is probably my one of my biggest tips, and my boiler's just come on, so I'm really sorry if you can hear that. I'm filming this very late. One thing that, this is probably going to be a bit controversial with some people, was when I went last year, they were making a product every hour, and because I was so set on getting to certain things as and when, I actually didn't eat the whole time I was there, or I didn't have a main meal, so I didn't have lunch. But they did have coffee stands where they gave you free drinks as well as free little snacks. They were like vegan snack bites, which were really nice. But I know actually that's a point. On their website this year it says to bring a reusable cup. I must remember to bring that because I've made a list of everything I need and I haven't put that on there. So bring a reusable cup if you're watching this, because I don't think they're giving out plastic disposable cups anymore. Yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I kind of made the decision about 10 o'clock that I would just, because I wanted to get everywhere, I was like, I'm just going to skip lunch. I'll have the snacks as and when, but they were literally like tiny bite-sized things about that big. So I was starving at the end of it, which I know some people were like, oh, you shouldn't skip lunch, but in my mind it was just, it was one day, I was going to eat it on the train immediately after. I do really recommend, if I'd have known that, bring snacks. They do on their website say not to bring in food. I'm assuming they just mean like, don't bring in like sandwiches or anything messy. I have some snacks that I'm going to bring with me. They do say you can actually buy food on site this year, whereas last year you couldn't. If you wanted something, you actually had to leave the showcase. And that for me was a big, I didn't want to do that, because I remember I was already about half an hour late because I got on the wrong train on the underground, which is a completely different story. And I didn't want to miss anymore, so I was just like, I won't eat, I'll eat when I leave the showcase. But you can buy food on site now, which I think is probably going to be good for most people. I'm going to bring some snacks and see if I'm able to get away with them. It's just something to bear in mind. Obviously, if you're happy taking an hour away from the showcase to go out and get food, that's fine, but that was just for me. And another thing, probably my biggest tip was, with all of the free stuff I got, I had to get one of their Lush paper bags, and they're obviously very fragile. And towards the end of the day, I honestly thought the bag was going to break. I remember walking on the underground, just expecting bath bombs to go everywhere. Taking it back on a busy train was a nightmare, especially when I had to walk. I actually got my fiance to pick me up from the station here, because I'm like, I can't walk back with this bag, even if it is only like a 10-minute walk, because it will just break. So I really recommend, I was meant to bring some with me, but I really recommend taking reusable tote bags, just the fabric bags. Everyone knows what they are. I've been, because you get them for free every now and again, I've been saving them up all year, and I'm just going to take a bigger handbag and put those bags in my bag so that I've got them, and then that way none of the products will break. That is my biggest tip. One, if you're buying a lot, or two, if you're making a lot of products, bring a tote bag. That, if I'd known that last year, it would have been so much easier, because I also spent a lot of the time really just worrying, walking around the showcase thinking my bag was going to break. So yeah, bring lots of reusable bags. And I think if you bought I can't remember what the pass is called, but if you bought the showcase tickets that went online in May, the ones that are around £35, you get a free tote bag as well at the showcase, so that will be good. But that is, I'd say if you have to take anything from this video, that's my biggest tip. I'm going to be filming a vlog while I'm there, and I'm going to do what I did last year, where I filmed lots of close-ups of the products. Oh, another thing is, bring a reusable phone charger or a power bank, because your phone does die quite quickly. I can't remember if there was charging pods anywhere last year. I didn't see any, and I imagine if there are, they will be quite full. So yeah, bring a power bank or whatever for your phone. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, and I've had a complete mind blank, so what I'll do is if there's anything I think of, I'll put it here now. But yeah, just overall, definitely bring some snacks and bring reusable tote bags. And again, if like me, you really want to try and get as much out of it as possible, go on the website, say tonight or whenever, and you can plan your schedule from there. And also, while you're there, just take a picture of each stand, because it said they were only making each product once, whereas last year they seemed to make, just from what I've seen on the website, it seems like they're making less products, so I don't know if they're going to make them later on in the day again, and they've just not announced it. But yeah, I really recommend just planning your schedule before you get there, especially if you want all the free products like me. It was just so much fun last year, so I'm really hoping it's a good time this year. I am having to travel a fair bit. Manchester is the other side of the country to me. I live closer to London. I'm really looking forward to going, and I hope I'll see some of you there. And I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.